If you suspect that the man you're dating is lying, don't just give him the benefit of the doubt. Use this simple test to determine whether he's lying or whether he's telling the truth. Hi, I'm Jason Silver. I am the dating coach for Attract Great Guys, where we dive in deep into male psychology, human attraction, to understand how you can attract a high-quality man into your life and build a lifelong committed relationship. Do stick around until the end of this video. I think you're going to be very excited by this very special offer that I have for you. Now let's dig in. I'd like to share with you a very powerful mind thought exercise that you could bring yourself through to understand if a man is being honest or dishonest. Now, the goal of any player or pickup artist is to sleep with you, and they will do or say anything to basically make you believe that they are a great guy and that you should be very attracted to them, even if it means that they lie or are dishonest. And this is a problem because it puts you in a position where you're meeting men who are explicitly trying to be dishonest just to attract you. So it's important that you have some really great strategies to identify these men so you avoid getting into a relationship with someone who's ultimately just using you. And this frees up your time and your energy to really focus on higher quality, more commitment-minded men. Now, what you'll be using to figure out or to determine if he's lying or not is you're going to be applying the congruence test. And the congruence test is basically looking at their actions and understanding on a deeper level if their actions are aligning with the man that they are projecting themselves as, or the person that you are projecting them as yourself. In other words, if you think he is a certain type of person with certain character traits, the congruence test is the way to check that, to basically be a checks and balances to make sure that they are the person they say they are. And it's very simple. You're going to look at, first, what character traits do you hope or believe he is? Do you think he's kind and thoughtful and considerate? Versus what actions is he taking? It's very easy for us to take a look at someone and say, oh, he's a good person. Yes, he hasn't been available. Yes, he's done this or that, but excuse. He's working really hard. He was really tired. He's dealing with this in his life. We're able to give people excuses for the actions that they're taking. The congruence test is a little bit more objective. It takes our own feelings and emotions out of it, and it allows us to see someone for who they actually are, by what actions they're actually taking. So the first step of the congruence test is to be aware, what do I hope that they are? What type of man do I hope that he is? What character traits am I projecting onto him? Do I think he's very smart? Do I think he's very caring? Do I think X, Y, Z? So that's the first step, is understanding what traits you believe he is. The next step is understanding what traits are important to you. So do you need someone who's committed, who's loyal, who's honest, etc.? And by understanding that, you may already find that there's a disconnect, and you might just be wasting your time from the get-go. This man may have already shown you immediately that he's not a good fit, and you might just be holding on to something because you weren't even aware of it. So just becoming aware of that is going to change the game. But let's take it to an even deeper level. Let's go even deeper so you can understand who he is, even if who you hope he is or who he's telling you he is different. Now let's go to the actions that he's taking. Look at the things that he says and does. Now, what's interesting about people's actions is they can actually have more than one character trait attached to it. Let me run you through some examples here. Let's say he's very busy with work. He works a lot. Well, a character trait that you might say is, well, he's very hardworking. And another character trait is that he's unavailable. So if we're looking at it like that, we have to look at the positive character traits, and also the challenging character traits. So that's one example if he's hardworking. Another might be if he makes a bunch of sarcastic jokes all the time. Well, one character trait might be he's goofy and lighthearted. And another character trait might be, well, the things that he says when he's being sarcastic, those aren't really considerate or kind. They're maybe goofy, but they're not really kind-hearted in their nature. So being aware and looking again at the pro and the con allows you to get a broader idea of the person that they are displaying themselves. I'll give you a third example. Let's say that he has a really good eye for quality in his mind, what you should or ought to be, what you should or ought to be doing. And you could look at that and say, this guy's got high standards. I like that. And another side of it, another character trait might be that he's just very critical of things and people. Now that you see what character traits you're hoping for, or you might be projecting on him, what character traits you need, and finally, what actions is he actually taking, and what are the character traits that are attached to those actions, both pros and cons. Now here's the congruence test. Here's how you let the rubber hit the road and really figure out if he is the man who he says he is. You take a look at the character traits that he's actually exhibiting through his actions and compare them to the character traits that you are imposing on him, either by projections or he's actually trying to position himself as being very kind or very giving. And once you compare those character traits that he's acting as if versus the ones that you think or he's telling you he is, what's the difference? Do you keep hoping or thinking that he's this really caring guy, he's just been too tired, excuse. But his actions are actually that he's pretty self-centered. He doesn't really do or say a lot of things that are very caring or considerate. And when you start noticing that there's a vast difference between who you hope he is versus the actions and the character traits that are representative of his actions, then usually there's a discrepancy. And that's a good indicator that the person that you hope he is not actually who he is, that there are either lies or deception going on, or there's somehow a incongruence between who he is and who you think he is. And this is the congruence test. It's very important that you apply this. You really think about this. You really look at the character traits that someone is exhibiting through their actions and see how different it is from what you hope or think he is, and also being aware of your own needs. Once you understand this, you can get much greater insight into who a person actually is through their actions, and you can avoid wasting or spending a lot of time dating who you think someone is versus who they actually are. This is going to give you a huge edge, because someone who's lying to you is not going to be able to maintain their lie over a long period of time through their actions. People's actions eventually open you up to the truth. So you actually, by applying the congruence test, you're able to see much more directly into who someone actually is and what character traits they're actually exhibiting. This is wildly helpful. If you're still watching this video, it means something. It means you're an ambitious woman who's willing to take action to improve your dating life. And let's not discount just how different you are, because let's face it, there are a lot of women out there who are frustrated, but they don't do anything to try to change their situation. I talk about these women in almost every video. You see them in the comments, the ones who seem to just hate men and only focus on men changing. And listen, don't get me wrong, I get it. Some men are terrible, okay? But we both know there are high quality men out there, and there is a quality man for you. Someone who will fulfill your deepest desires, truly make you happy without needing to change or pretend that you're someone you're not. In fact, authentic attraction is what I teach, and in a lot of ways makes my dating methods a lot different from these other so-called gurus who focus on these manipulative tricks and tactics. And that's why I want to try something very special for this video. And this is the first time I've ever done something like this, but I think it may just change the lives of a few women who watch this video, and so I'm willing to take the risk. So here's the deal. If you're truly an ambitious, mastery-driven woman, if you resonate with my message, then I want to do everything in my power to help you achieve the relationship that you desire. And that's why I'm going to open up access to one of my presentations that's never been released to the public. In fact, I've never even before made this presentation available on YouTube or anywhere other than to a private list of my email subscribers once before. So I put a link to this presentation below this video in the description of this video where you can access it while I keep it online. But honestly, I'm just testing this. I reserve the right to take the link down at any moment. I really just want to reach my true fans, the ambitious women in this YouTube audience who are willing to invest in themselves so that they can really improve their dating life. So if you find the link below and click it, you're going to get behind the scenes look into my online dating system that I call the Silver Method. It's a counterintuitive system for meeting more men online, quality men, with way less effort. And plus, you're going to hear the surprising story, I never mentioned this before on YouTube, that actually explains how I stumbled on this online dating method. It's going to walk you step by step through a smarter way to approach online dating and gain an almost unfair advantage over all the other women online. So if you're interested in learning more about this exclusive online dating method with, its own tactics and tools, things that I don't reveal for free on YouTube, then please click the link below and watch this special presentation now. You're going to love learning a radically different approach to online dating, so you never, again, have to deal with these narcissists or scammers or players or these low-quality guys online. Anyway, thank you so much for being my loyal viewer. It honestly means the world to me and my family that this tribe of ambitious women is growing so much and turning into such a powerful movement of loving, giving people. I can't tell you how amazing that feels. So I do hope to see you in this special presentation, and have an amazing day.